one question and state your name and media. Minister Lose, please go ahead.
Thank you. And let me start by saying that I think it's been really a few good days here with colleagues, central bank governors that we've been working with over the last few days. We focused on some of the most important and urgent challenges that Europe faces. How do we strengthen our productivity and competitiveness? Here, 1 year after Draghi, there is still a lot of work to do. How can Europe play an active role to shape our future in a geopolitical landscape that is changing? And there was a clear consensus that it's challenges that are closely knit together. A stronger European and resilient economy is a precondition for Europe to play a strong geopolitical role. We've discussed 4 main themes relating to competitiveness as the key to prosperity and security. We talked about working methods and overviews of upcoming EU legislation to ensure burden reductions for European businesses. We talked about simpler financial regulation to make it more efficient and less costly. We talked about national structural reforms to strengthen productivity and competitiveness. And finally, we talked about policy actions to shape the future of Europe and the world in the view of the geopolitical developments. On the theme of burden reductions, of course, EU legislation poses huge benefits for all EU countries. Could be a stronger single market, it could be green transition, it could be consumer protection, but burdens on European businesses are high, and it would be nice to have a better forward-looking method and overview of what's actually on the way, so that we can act to bring down burdens. It was a theme that attracted great interest among colleagues, and we would like to continue the work to improve working methods and overview of burdens from new legislation. The aim should be to get new legislation right the first time, and then at some point, hopefully, well, this will then also be done with doing omnibuses when we get it right also in the future. The second theme on a simpler financial regulation, we all know why we have made a lot of new regulations since the financial crisis, rightfully so. We need to safeguard financial stability, we need to safeguard our consumers, consumer protection, but it's completely fair to discuss how can the sheer amount and complexity of the regulation be brought down without, as I said, giving up on the very important goals of the regulation. We will take that work forward, aiming at some common principles to the ongoing work on simplification, so that we can use that as a stepstone to build a stronger and more efficient capital market in Europe as well. We had a discussion on national structural reforms. They are at least as important as common EU initiatives. Things we do at home is being amplified by what we do together in the EU and the other way around. And we had a very good exchange of views on which national reforms are most important and how to overcome the obstacles there will always be on the road towards reforms and stronger and resilient economies. And then finally, we had a discussion on the geopolitical tension that's rising. Russia's waging a war in Europe, and the international cooperation and trade is under pressure. We have to work closely together in Europe, and we have to do it with like-minded partners to have the power to shape our own future, as well as global developments. It was a really good discussion with good friends being among us, and we are very clear that we need to work closely together, building a strong economy with strategic autonomy and a strong defence, as well as cooperating with like-minded allies outside of the European Union on for example, free trade, climate. Yeah, this should be my remarks.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good afternoon, everyone. Today's meeting saw a broad consensus around the need for Europe to act urgently to strengthen its resilience and strategic autonomy in face of challenging geo-economic and geopolitical developments. Europe must quickly find its place in a changing world to protect its citizens and to secure its long-term prosperity. Recent violations of Union's airspace, including yesterday's outrageous violation of Estonian airspace by Russian MiGs, underlines the need and urgency for Europe to take responsibility for its own security, as well as ramping pressure on Russian aggressor. Sanctions are crippling Russia's war economy. With our 19th sanctions package published yesterday, we propose to further ramp up the pressure on aggressor. We are widening the net in area of trade, financial services, energy and sanctions evasion, and we will not rest until the aggressor is stopped. More broadly, the EU is now taking bold and necessary steps to facilitate investment needed to increase our defence capabilities, including through €150 billion SAFE instrument and activation of the National Escape Clause. We also must support Ukraine by covering its financing needs in 2026 and 2027 and help it purchase military equipment it needs to sustain its fight for survival. This is why we continue to work on reparations law. We also need to reduce our strategic dependencies, including through diversifying our trade and deepening our partnerships around the world. Here, I also would like to thank Canada, Norway, the United Kingdom and Ukraine, all represented here today, as some of the EU's most valued partners. In today's world, it's more important than ever that we deepen cooperation among like-minded nations. Finally, we must continue to take decisive action to secure our long-term prosperity by implementing the competitiveness compass and continuing to deliver on the recommendations of the Draghi report. This brings me to another important discussion we held today on how reforms in member states can strengthen the EU's overall productivity and competitiveness. Because indeed many of the levers to enhance competitiveness are in the hands of member states in areas like education and skills, labour market policies, taxation, public administration and innovation ecosystems. Reforms by member states are therefore key. The European Commission is committed to play its part in coordinating and encouraging the implementation of such reforms. And the competitiveness compass provides us a comprehensive set of actions to be urgently taken at EU level to complement member states' efforts. These meetings provided also an important opportunity to present and engage in an exchange of the key pillar of the European Union's broader competitiveness agenda, simplification. Since the beginning of the year, we have presented 6 simplification omnibus proposals, including in agriculture, defence, due diligence and sustainability reporting. These proposals will make EU rules simpler, more proportionate and easier to navigate for European businesses, resulting in annual savings of around €8.4 billion. Our overall objective is to simplify administrative procedures to reduce costs by 25% for all companies and 35% for SMEs. This means cutting around €37.5 billion in the annual administrative costs by the end of this Commission's mandate in 2029. Our discussions focused on the importance of monitoring the overall economic impact of the EU legislation across different policy areas and also on how simplification can deliver a more competitive European financial sector. These discussions serve as very useful contributions to our ongoing work. So I'm grateful to Danish Presidency for facilitating these exchanges, recognizing the importance of simplification and supporting the omnibus proposals the Commission has already made. So before I finish, I wanted to once again thank the Danish Presidency for your hospitality and for excellent organization of the meeting. Tusen tak.
Tak.
Thank you both. Let's go to questions. Yes, yeah. Please wait for the microphone.
Thank you. Detlef Fechtner, Börsenzeitung, German Financial Daily. To Mr. Dombrovskis, on the frozen assets, can you give us a taste of the echo of this discussion? So are there willingness to discuss, or is there even support already, or are there some caveats? And what's about the Brits, the UK?
Yes, thank you for this question. Indeed, so in these meetings I presented the broad outline of this reparation loan concept, and all in all I would say there is willingness to engage constructively, and indeed member states see it as a possible way forward. So we now obviously continue to work on all the modalities because, well, we need to prepare it all relatively quickly, as Ukraine will be needing this financing as of 2026. And indeed, we see that this reparations loan approach can be scalable at the G7 level. So we are also raising it with our G7 partners, and indeed, so I had a meeting also with Chancellor Reeves yesterday, and UK is also showing openness to consider a similar approach as the EU's approach.
Klaus.
Klaus Djør, Fagpressebyrået. That is for the Commissioner. There is a growing criticism, at least in the Danish Parliament, concerning the lack of consequence analysis in many proposals. So the outcome is far from what you thought it would be, like the CSRD. Will you improve your homework